Hello everybody and welcome to a new series about the game of Valheim. Before I actually start, I will give you just a little bit of background information because I think that makes it a little bit more useful to show you why I choose this game and what I like it, and especially why I wanted to show it to you. Now, Valheim is what people call a survival sandbox game, and that means it's basically two games in one. The sandbox is more or less around the building aspect of the game, which means you have to set up your own base, build it, build the houses and everything that comes with that. While the survival part means that you really have to fight and, well, collect resources, process resources, construct stuff to keep alive. And the joy of Valheim is that it's basically quite simple. The graphics aren't really great. You'll see that later. There are mods out and about to improve gameplay. I'm not using them because every once in a while I play this game in multiplayer with other people who don't have mods. So even if I wanted to, there's no need for me to disable mods and start playing with other people. Then when I want to play solo, enable the mods going back and forth. I'm not up to that. So what do we have? Well, what we see here is a part of one of the biomes, and in fact two of the biomes. And there's even a creepy creature around. We will meet that creature and more about it later. First of all, let's start out. I have several characters from previous games. I won't use those. Instead, we're going to create a new one. I thought might as well give you the whole startup. See about the hair. We're just choosing the same kind of character actually. Of course, we do beard. No ponytail. Nope. That may do it. Too long. Way too long. I mean, think what happens if you get soup in it. Oh, and in the background you see one of the creatures. We don't have spiders, by the way, so for those who don't like spiders, well, lucky you. I think I'll stick to this, although I'm not really happy about Rastaman. Nope. Nope. Yeah, that's when he used the same gel. What was it? Mary, I think her name was, from that movie. No. So let's keep to the shorter ponytail. That's it. Name. You have to pick some sort of Norse way. Now, while we're here, when that's done, the world of Valheim is happening. I already created a world. I haven't done anything else in it. So that's one thing you really need to know. I haven't done a thing in it. I created a world from the same seed previously to scout around, and I deleted that. So we are able to move into this world and start from scratch, which is what I want. Now, the whole background of Valheim is based around Norse mythologies, not Norwegian Norse, which means a Viking. And since the Vikings were living in present Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and even a little bit of Finland, you will get lots of Odin, Thor, and other references. Most of all, however, we will deal with several outcasts found in Norse mythology. So as soon as I start, we start with a very nice cutscene, and I won't explain anything about it because it explains a little bit by itself. I have the help tutorial on, so every once in a while that will happen. I can do basically speedrun the first boss if I want to, but that would make it very dull for you folks. I want to show you around. So say, just watch and enjoy after we get a big black loading screen, because usually that's taking some time. And here we are in our new world. I will bring up the map. We've been flying a little bit here. And as you can see, when I hover my mouse over what we discussed, but you see Black Forest. Black Forest is one of the biomes. We got 8 at the moment. And with the exception of 2 or 3, it depends a little bit how you look at it, everything is already developed. Not to everybody's liking, but yes, everything is, first parts are done. So Black Forest is one biome, Mountain is the second, Meadows is the third, and that's where we currently are in. The fifth biome is um, Swamp. The sixth is Plains. The seventh we currently have is Mistlands. The eighth is actually Ocean. ocean is one of the biomes we will visit a lot because we have to travel over it. It's really, as the name already suggests, a water area. The ninth is Mistlands, and eventually over time we will get Ashlands, which is currently in development, and Frozen North being added to the map. And those are last. Now, like I said, we are here in the meadows, so first of all, let's see what our black chicken has to talk. And that's one of the things. You died at the battlefield, and he will do a lot. I will pick up that stone as well, because we get new things to see. But you died at the battlefield, but apparently, it's a fan theory at least, you weren't a hero enough or good enough to actually be sent to Valhalla immediately. Instead, you were sent here to repent. This is the map. That's the boss we have to fight in Act here. More about that later. Now we have these sacrificial stones. There's a picture at them. This is Act here. This text we saw is actually, I'm going to move that one to another stop, is actually telling us a little bit something. One of the keys in this game is that each boss possesses an item which is needed to start processing the next biome, which means with Act here we have to get something which will enable us to move this way. This is, by the way, not... yeah, this is the right one. From him, we got some new recipes. We get the next guy. After him, we get to the next point. I will pick up those branches because I need those. Now, basically, the first 3 bosses enable items which are pretty normal. After this boss, we are able to start using some things which show a bit, not much like magic. Still, there's a lot more to do, because each and every boss gets harder. So we got something like an undead boss, and eventually this is for now the last one. And I've been fighting her with one of my other characters. Trust me, this is a bitch. That guy is hard. This guy is hard, but she's a bitch. So, what can I do? Well, not much yet. Yep, I can do this. First of all, we have our crafting screen. We got two kinds of crafting, and both are triggered in two ways. First of all, there's the, well, you can call it some sort of quick craft. Basically, some very crude items, the hammer, the axe, the club. And I will need a club soon. I need to use my other mouse button. I have to get used to that. I would need a club because it's for self-defense, but I need 6 pieces of wood for that. The axe, obviously, needed to chop trees, and the hammer. The hammer, I can craft it already, is required to build some on-the-go stuff. So the first thing we have in crafting is the crude crafting, which I just did. I will start moving around. Don't mind. People will find this annoying, but yeah. That's the tutorial. Raven, and yes. Here's the next, and he will pop up in a bit. Because I found food, so he will once again come here. Hey, I bring tidings. Mushrooms, raspberries, especially early game, those are very important. Now, where is he? Not yet. We will collect a lot of those. Why do I get the reason I put them in those slots is makes it easier for me to eat. Now each food item gives me health and stamina. Later we get another item giving us something related to magic. Later. So mushrooms give me 15 health points and 15 stamina points. And every second or so I get a health point added. Raspberries giving me 7 health and 20 stamina. Which means we've got two different kind of food items. One gives more health as stamina, no, similar amount. The other gives more stamina. We also have an item giving more health. And the trick in one of the tricks in this game is to use food needed to food based upon your needs. If you have to walk a lot or carry a lot, having more stamina is better. If you want to fight, you want to have more health. Yes, we know that. Thank you. Yeah, go find. The map was pointing that direction. So let's go. Over time I will hunt deer. First, I want to create a club. Because deer hunting will actually require some skill. I can do it with a club, I can do it with an axe. very careful because there are quite a number of things around over here planning to kill me. And the hammer I just made, like that thing, that's always one of the things that want to kill me, even if I'm strong enough to slam them halfway across the island. But I was saying the hammer I made is not suitable for fighting. 4 stones, 5 wood, and 6 wood. I need at least 5 stones for something else. 5 stones and a single wood. And I should have the wood for the club. At least I'm armed now. I still need an axe. Oh, and no, although I'm clubbing, we don't have baby seals here. Also, while I put this one away, each and every time I find a craftable item, like I just did, new recipes will pop up. Torch is one of those raw building items which I can create immediately. So like I said, I want an axe which is 4 stone, 5 wood, so I need at least 5 more wood and a bunch of stones. The reason for that is if I want to build a fire, I will need 5 stones and 1 wood to get it started. So in general, I'm just moving around the starting area, gather the resources required to build. And yes, there's a lot of physics involved in this game. So I will slide down. See movement over there. Yeah, I think so. Okay, stop things. Use it yet? Use that axe later. And there, with the there, I'm able to eventually create a bow and wooden arrows. So do I have 7 stones? Let's think 3 more stones. Go with that. This is also something we will find multiple times. And there we have the reason for the bow. Don't get too close because those things hurt. But that's a beehive. We will find them in old structures. I'm stupid. We will find beehives in all structures. When I destroy them, I'm able to find the queen and usually honey. If I pick up the queen, I can use it later to build my own domestic beehives, and honey I can harvest for that is later used for other stuff. Now I got my club, I got my axe, Got wood and stones, at least enough for a fire. Time to start hunting. I will need flint later. There's a reason I want to hunt. Because, like I said, deer will give me leather, which is needed for bow, which is needed for clothing, and it's needed to craft some other items, including a ship. With what I have in mind, we will need that ship. Another building. It's actually a leftover building. With feathers. Amber can be sold later, we will find the traders on. Feathers are used for, well, starting. It's getting dark, I think I'm going to do something else first. Feathers can be used starting for arrows. Later, I'm thinking, how far am I of that? I think it's close enough. There's a reason I'm doing something. Later we can actually create a very useful item for when we want to fight free. Also, as you can see, our axe is getting damaged from use. So at some point I will have to repair it or simply drop it. There it is. And create a new one. Repairing doesn't require any materials, and with that in mind, that means this game is, like I said, it's easier at some points as some games. I used to play Worm Online, which is a similar idea, although more focused at medieval times. We got our Raven friend again, I will talk to him soon enough. But in Worm Online, everything you used got damaged, and everything that got damaged needed materials to repair. I don't have this. Yes, I know, my buddy. What do you think I was doing here? Fire. Let's see if I'm actually able to build it. Looks like it's in front of the door. Okay. Now that's that. Another thing I'm going to do is switch to crafting. Build myself the workbench. That part is gone anyway, so build it there. And now we get a lot of information. I'll let all those new build pieces pass, because it's a lot of information and it's actually quite easy to show what it's like, which is bring up the hammer, open the crafting screen. This is repair, that's default. After that we got floor pieces, 2 staircases, 3 different standing wall pieces, 2 or actually 4 different wall pieces angled, 2 crosses, 2 roof types in both angles, 2 angles of different roof types including corner pieces, holes, beams, a normal door and a very big door. Now, first thing I'm going to do is repair everything. And the reason I'm taking this building is that at some point I want to build a portal in this area. Yes, we can have fast traveling portals. How much wood do I have left? 22. I was already afraid of that. Eventually I want to build here a portal here, which will actually give me that 26. Make it easy for me to travel in this direction. One of the important things regarding workbench is that it requires a roof. It currently doesn't. And with this I'm able to repair items. As soon as I have a roof over a workbench, I can repair items which can be negated at the bench. Later I will need other workbenches, but other types of workbenches, but this specific one for woodworking, I can repair everything for woodworking. And as you can see, I can already build wood arrows if I have wood. I can also create a hoe, and the hoe is quite useful because you can terraform a lot with that. I'm going to need that for what I have in mind, and most of the terraforming will actually be done offline because I don't think people want to see me terraforming 2 or 3 hours. The same area for 2 or 3 hours. Certainly won't do it here. Another option we have here is upgrading, and it tells me I need a tier 2 station or workbench and 2 stones. Now to get a tier 2 I will have to build crafting chopping block. For the chopping block I need 10 flint and more wood. I don't have the wood and the flint, but I can pick it up. Everything regenerates over time except for ores. More about that later. So I can upgrade my items. Right now I want to open. First of all, prepare something for the last item. After that, check if I'm actually able to. That's the fun part. I don't need that chest. There's no problem with drafting this game. Also, what we have in this game is the ability to things door. Since there's an auto connect option, it's very easy to build in straight angles. It's a little bit harder to build other angles. Round building, things like that aren't always easy that way. Build a wall. Every time when I'm in a sheltered area with fire, I'm getting arrested bonus. Arrested is exactly what it says. It's basically a reset point for stamina and health generation. It very certainly helps. Certainly helps, like I said, stamina regeneration, which is very useful when you want to walk long stretches, when you're in a fight, etc. etc. Rested bonus, like we have now, 10 minutes, gives me for 10 minutes a very nice generation. I'm still not enough. It's almost daytime now. There's another thing I can do. That's not getting crazy like wood. There we are. I need, let me see, at least 2 more flint. Flint is always found at edges of water in the meadows. Only meadows, which is where we are now. I need flint while I'm in the next area, which is the next biome, which is the Black Forest. I won't find flint. So it's really meadow area only. And that's one of the things that survival games usually do. You have areas you're in with specific items, just like this game. You need that's a piece of wood. I thought it was something else. You will need to gather items to process to the next one, or into the next stage or whatever. In this case, like I said, we have to fight that boss. Need leather for that. Plus lots of flint actually. Some stone for upgrades. Before we are able to move on to the next part. And swimming time. It wasn't what I had in mind. Now we got the flint. And I'm running on low food, so I have to be careful. I've got the flint, I've got the wood. In general, I would need more feather. I don't have more feathers. Of course. And we got somebody watching us. We will see that later. Sooner or later. I don't know if I'm actually able to spot him. But sooner or later we will see somebody. Come on. Sneaking up on me. Somebody wearing a cloak. And you will only watch, don't do anything. Better eat something. But that guy, if he shows up, I see it, I'll explain more about him. Keep in mind, we are in Norse mythology. So yeah, you can Google it if you want to. To listen, because I actually want to start hunting a deer. Also, status is always displayed. Yeah, right, when I'm talking we hear the deer. Status is always displayed in two ways. First of all, in the right corner, as you can see, we got the rested bonus. There's the question is, where is it? We got in the top right near the map the rested bonus. Every once in a while when something happens. On the left, we also see that message. Here the neck. There's food. Do that with the club. There's also a mushroom, very nice. Now, new items. Where are they? Boar meat. There should be something else too. Ah, there it is. Leather scraps. Now all those crafting, with the exception of the raft, but all those crafting pieces you saw, move over to the repair one, are done near the workbench. I need a workbench, not for this, but everything that doesn't show up completely, I need a workbench. I need to do that, by the way. That's one of the reasons I'm collecting wood. This is one of the things we'll need later, which is why I'm actually pleased to have that house near the water, because that makes it easier to have the workbench available. And I will need that one to move to the area where I want to set up my base. Anything else isn't included yet, but we do have the wood and the flint for the expansion. Also, boar meat. Let's stop collecting boar wood now. Boar meat is a food item. Where is it? There it is. I'm also able to defend myself. And this is nice too, which kind of means 3 leather scraps. I thought I needed 10 for a bow. I can eat this. I don't want to. Not a good idea. Now there was something else. Yeah, this. Okay. Later I will have to try and capture boars, at least early game. Because boars will become, well, like I said, they're a food item. Fruit of the grounds. It's another food item I don't have yet. So again, another beehive. This time I will do what I should have done before. More mushrooms. Wait, more mushrooms. The reason I'm making those markings are, well, sort of making sense. I think everything regenerates. We've got 3 more over here. So over time I'm able to come back here again. We've got the chest, okay. I'm able to come back here again. And this, that, and lots of feathers. And start picking the items. So if I leave a marker, there's no need for me to keep looking for items. And I think right now I've got a lot of markers to find. 4. Of course I can, or I could as well make notes on paper, but then at some point I'm like, let's clean up the house, clean up the room, see a lot of papers. That was the wrong thing. Good thing is, with all the hitting I'm doing, my skill is getting up. Clubs is going to be one of my main fighting skill, because there are multiple enemies in this game that don't like blunt weapons. One of them is actually an enemy I will need to upgrade this weapon. Hopefully I don't encounter them yet, because we are pretty weak. Now I need no idea how much leather I need. Should be checking that. I know it's 10 scraps for the raft. Six scraps for the raft, okay. I really need to find cells. Some. Here. We have a river. Actually, it's more like a creek. There is some confusion in the community, because some people call this a river, some people call the area between islands a river, even if that area is having a very big gap called ocean. Now we got necked hills. This is one of the larger meadows. That much to see. That was the one we were following previously. I will follow the big one first and go back along the stretch of the other one. See up ahead are pine trees, fir trees, which means another bio. And right now, well, with the knowledge I have, I may be able to survive there, because it's a matter of hit and run. I won't be going there yet. But the thing is, right now I won't be going there yet. I know it's boring, sorry for that. But that's how these games go. Let's see, there's a clear. The wind is coming straight ahead of us. There is some awareness of animals in this game, so I have to be very careful, because especially early game, animals get startled pretty easy. which is one of the reasons why bows are very useful. Let's see if I'm able to get a few more boar. Perhaps bow. It's also getting dark, so it's a good idea to head back anyway. If I'm able to create ourselves a bow, necktails, at least hunting deer will become a little bit easier. Another necktail, no trophies yet. So maybe smarter to head back east indeed, because that in the distance where the mouse pointer is hovering, if you see it, but that's an oak tree. Can't even cut it down. Also, they're quite rare, so there's absolutely no reason to cut it down. Let's see. We'll still try to look for deer whenever possible. Just have to be very careful. There's two. No, it's two. Crap. No luck today. A beehive? Chest. Really a long way from home. The disadvantage of being cold, as already pointed out, is that otherwise other acids not helping you. But the biggest disadvantage of it is that your stamina won't regenerate much. And I've been such a fool. I forgot something very important. So I have to do this blindfolded. What I forgot is actually point at the map where I built that, well, not built, repaired that house. Notes down at the water. Fortunately, just like Hansel and Gretel, we saw a little light. See? That is. Boar meat. How much wood do we have? 38. That's more than enough. So, 1. Doing this. Number 2. Furniture. spawn point set, and as you can see we have a bed symbol on the map. So what I'm going to do now is first of all this, because it's a perfect moment to end the recording. Or almost end the recording. Today wishing us a good morning. I'm wishing you a very good day. I hope you've enjoyed it. I did. It's always fun to start out new games, or older games if you already have them for a while. Next week we will be doing more crafting items like our bow. We will need a shield, and we will do a little bit of food. Plus we will starting with our deer hunting. For now, I'm wishing you a very good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.